let's direct this very money to our small businesses who have been asking us for this for a year and a half. I frankly am confounded about why anybody would vote against this, why anyone would say no to small businesses, why anybody would believe that this economic recession is over, that it's okay to just walk away.
Shelley Pingree is touring the state, helping cities and towns find unique ways to create jobs and stimulate the local economies. Today, the Congresswoman was in the Biddeford area touring the Old North Dam Mill.
And millions in stimulus money is coming to Maine to expand rail service from Portland to Brunswick and put some people to work in the process.
We are pursuing a misguided strategy at a tremendous cost to the American people. The loss of one more American serviceman or woman is simply too high a cost for a mission that does not strengthen our national economy. I wanted to put the sentiment out there that I do think increasingly the American public is concerned about the expense, the loss of lives, and I think all of us are concerned with our lack of success. Now, only 50 to 100 al-Qaeda operatives in Afghanistan, which begs the question, why do we need over 100,000 troops over there? Does the United States really need 1,000 troops and $1 billion a year to fight each single member of al-Qaeda?
I'm not a hero in this. That's not what I did this for. I just did what I think anybody would do.
When he got to Miami, regulatory problems with the Coast Guard and U.S. Customs officials. Congresswoman Shelley Pingree and other members of Maine's congressional delegation helped clear up some of those bureaucratic setbacks. And Pingree herself was among those honoring Brooks today.
Meanwhile, there's encouraging news for thousands of Mainers who depend on food stamps. Maine Congresswoman Shelley Pingree says the Obama administration has agreed to extend increased benefits for recipients here in Maine.
Yes, I'm making my payments every month.
To the same company.
Yeah. And they're cashing my checks.
You know, my office gets so many calls about this, and we are so angry and frustrated. Those companies write up and find their legislative liaison and say, you know, you're not supposed to be doing this. You promised you would help these people if we helped you. So last year, I learned that Anthem had suddenly and quietly changed a policy that allowed them to deny claims at our state's VA hospital.
Congresswoman Shelley Pingree had harsh words for Anthem. She says asking for a 23% rate increase for individual insurance rates in the middle of a recession is outrageous.
Pass a piece of legislation that didn't allow us to negotiate with the pharmaceutical manufacturers for the price of prescription drugs. At that point, I think it cost them about $150 a month for their 30 pills. But when we got across to the Canadian border, it was $12.35. That was highway robbery, and I, for one, am thrilled that we are here this weekend to finally take up an issue that is of such great importance to my constituents. My seniors are saying, thank goodness we no longer will have to pay for preventative care under Medicare. Thank goodness we're going to get rid of the donut hole. But I just want to talk a little bit about the process of insurance companies, because that's what makes my constituents mad. When they hear about the fact that people are constantly denied coverage because of a pre-existing condition, in many states being a woman of childbearing age is a pre-existing condition. You know, that will be gone with this.
The bill will extend health care coverage to 32 million uninsured Americans.
Yes, we did!
Let's say thank you to Shelley one more time, too.
This coalition of health care reform supporters thanked Congresswoman Shelley Pingree today for voting yes.
So what exactly are you expecting to hear from the president today?
Well, you know, think about it as the president talking to the entire country about the parts of the health care bill with Portland, Maine as a backdrop.
You had others who said, this is the end of freedom as we know it. So after I signed the bill, I looked around. I looked up at the sky to see if asteroids were coming. I looked at the ground to see if cracks had opened up in the earth. You know what? It turned out it was a pretty nice day.
Goldman Sachs was coming up with risky schemes to make money. She's calling lawmakers to take immediate action. She's fighting for tougher rules and regulations on Wall Street.
We need to clean up and repair the Gulf, holding BP accountable for its oil spill, enact stronger environmental, technological, and spill response standards, and invest in an American clean energy future. Understand this is an American resource. They should pay right away. Basically, you break it, you bought it, you start paying for it.
That you are one of the Democrats unhappy with this deal the president has struck with Republicans. Why don't you like what's on the table?
Well, I've been opposed to the tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires all along. I've been extending the tax cuts for middle-class families and businesses who make up to $250,000. They need a break, and we should be doing even more for them. But it's simply outrageous to suggest that we should hold these tax cuts hostage in order to continue a failed policy that has weakened our economy placed a bigger burden on working families and has only been effective in making the rich richer.
The House voted earlier tonight to end the ban on openly gay members of the military from serving. The vote was not even close.
Say to me, in my home district, in a state that is very dedicated to serving the military, they say, when are you going to end this process of discrimination?